Alright, well, we're going to test to see if we're live. I believe we might just be, but we're going to watch the stream. Yes, we are. Alright, folks. We have a 5-car field. Back of the field is Turbo Stuntman, and then 4th place will be Beige 20. Arizona is taking up a 3rd place spot. Mr. Monaco in 2nd place, and Twin is unsurprisingly the pole sitter. We're going to race all the times. And if you guys are ready, you can say R in the chat. We got 2, 3, 4. Alright, well, with that in mind, we're going to be doing 5 pace laps. So, the yellow flag is out. Pace speed will be 60 miles an hour. If somebody's sleeping, you can pass them, but they're going to have to pass you back. So, Arizona is not alive. I did not see them say R. I got tricked out by Fella saying R. So, she does not move. We're going to call it red. We're going to retry that.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Okay, Arizona, get your ass over there. You were starting in 3rd place. Leave the spot for 3rd, please. We're pacing pretty good so far. It's going to take Arizona a bit to get back up there. And Beige 20, Beige, you need to go quicker through the corners. Remember, you're on the outside lane, so the outside's going to have to do their best to hold up. Please don't chat. These cars are really hard to pace. So just focus on driving. I need Beige up, or else Turbo will be allowed to pass you. Which is not something we do. Which is not something you personally want to get into, by the way. Yeah, no chatting. Just drive. Just drive. Beige 20 up. Beige 20 up. Beige 20 up. Still, you're too far back. Mr. Monaco, you're a little far forwards. The outside lane, you guys need to figure out how to pace. I know it's a little bit harder, but the inside's going 60. Don't chat. I don't want to have to say this again. Just focus on driving. Mr. Monaco, up. Mr. Monaco needs to move up. If we cannot do this, we will be forced to go single file. And if we cannot pace single file, we're going to start putting people in the back of the field. So, Turbo, we're going to regulate you basically on Eris. So, just don't pass Eris on the restart, or on the start here. That's all I ask. We have one more lap to go here under caution, and then we'll go green for the hopefully go green for the 40 lap feature. As they make their way through 3 and 4, the green flag is in the air. We're gonna call it there, and Mr. Monaco gets a bad start. Twin is on the pedal. They get everything right, so Twin has a clear track so far. Arizona up to the 3rd place spot upon the restart. And so far we have the positions we started off with, so Twin is walking us away. Beige hits the wall. Turbo Stuntman is going to get by and slides his way up into 4th place. Now, he had a good run for the lead in last weekend's race at Hoosier Speedway. Unfortunately for him, a late caution, I believe that was Jason, cost him the lead upon the restart. So, Turbo also has what it takes to win. He's more of a road course guy rather than an oval driver, but here he is closing it up on Arizona, yesterday's Rotsmod. She's not yesterday's Rotsmod winner, excuse me, that was Twin. She has won here before, but at this specific track in the Rotsmod series, but it was not a win last year. Turbo, or this year. I'm a stuttering guy, I'm so sorry, folks. But Turbo makes her way by to the 3rd place spot. So that is a podium so far. And the field is currently a little bit spread out. Does happen as laps wind down, especially in a smaller field like this. believe Turbo's starting to outrun Arisnetta by a small margin. Might be closing in on Mr. Monaco. They did tap the wall. Twin currently has a 3-second gap, I believe, built up here. That's Twin. So he's already going through onto the backstretch as people are hitting the first turn. About a whole straightaway advantage there. So I believe this is going to be a very doctorate race, a very clean lead here, unchallenged. So probably going to be the focus of the race is going to be on that podium battle potentially between Arisnetta and Turbo here. I have a lag spike, but it fortunately fixes itself as we are about to run into the first quarter of the race. Again, this small of a track, this many laps, those races can go by very quickly, especially without a caution. As I believe we only have about a 10-minute long race, if that even. But you can hear the cars hitting the rev limiter as they hit the end of the straightaway, so it seems that might be the strategy. Now, these cars aren't really set up for any track in particular, so it doesn't really help when the gearing is set up in such a way, but in a way that is a technique that seems to be working. That seems to be the technique working for the lead as they hit the rev limiters up on the straights. So far, the closest gap is between Arisnetta and Turbo. That's going to change. Arisnetta goes up the apron and into the wall ever so slightly, so that's going to take away a couple of tenths that could have been gained. And so far, Twin also with a 15.640. Sorry, my throat's a little scratchy. Fella, if you could watch the cars for a second, I'm gonna fact check that, see if this is actually the fastest we've seen a car this weekend. So we know it's beating the stock I4s unquestionably. We'll be checking the ROTS mod results real quickly. As far as qualifying goes, these are in fact the fastest any cars have been this weekend. So we close in here on the halfway point. So I don't know if these are lap record worthy. It is the first time that these cars have raced in Martinsville. So one thing is for sure that the Formula Micros are by far the fastest class so far. We will be seeing lap records being shattered by the Super Indies once they race later today. Of course, a 15.6 on Martinsville is still an earth-shatteringly quick lap time, but even then, it's nothing compared to what's coming. So this time by, we'll be reaching the halfway point. As no major changes have really occurred, but Twin crosses the line, and now with cross flags, we are halfway through the race. As Twin makes his way down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Might be closing in here on Beige as a lap car. Now, even though he might be a lap down, that still isn't going to be that bad of a result, given that this is a very long championship, actually by far the longest one in the entire schedule. By far will be Formula Micro, so in a way, any race you could score points on might be a pretty good race to have, as I believe Turbo might... No, he's not being challenged. Turbo currently is cleared up. A Twin is closing in on a lap car ever so slightly, as we're going to round up soon. Next time by, not this one, but next time by, will be 15 to go. And Beige taps a wall. Twin is going to slide on by, so Beige will probably finish this one in 5th. Shall there be a caution? Now, if there is any cautions, he will be put back to the lead lap. but he might be holding out 5th for the rest of the race. And again, that isn't exactly a bad point score, so later on in the championship, something like that could come in clutch. Unless you're, of course, racing Twin. Twin has a pretty good activity score. Now, last year, he joined kind of late in the season. He thought he was going to retire. He decided against it. Ended up actually sweeping a couple of these series. Did not sweep the Rotsmans, though. That was up to Eris to do, and Eris ended up winning the whole ordeal. Quite marginally, in fact. But Twin this year, I think he's going for one last round at least of utter domination. Now, Beige is stopped on the back stretch. We'll be checking that one out. We'll see if he's okay, and he does continue on going, so we do not have a disconnection, so we're going to keep on rolling. A little bit interesting. As next time by, we'll be approaching 10 laps to go for our leader Twin Turbo V6. And the closest car behind him is Mr. Monaco. 5 whole seconds, almost half a lap the distance. So we're now 10 to go here. Arisnetta might be the next target for Twin Turbo V6. Now these two were, I believe, at to some capacity racing in the Stock I4s, and Eris on Friday made a lunge attempt on Twin in the Rotsmod finish with that 2-lap shootout. Did not quite work. There's a lot of races left in the season, obviously. We're not even a quarter way through it. As that distance between Twin and Eris is definitely closing down. The gap is closing. Now, one thing that's been missing from the schedule, I don't know if anyone's noticed yet, but coming up to next week, we'll be at Augusta Raceway. Now, that hasn't been on the schedule this year. And the road course is only left as an emergency track, but we will be seeing a lot of oval races, because the oval, admittedly, is not half bad. So, that's going to be fun to see. That'll be ran the week after this, so next week. And it might make for a couple of fun battles, or at least something to watch. That's definitely for certain. And Twin has closed down that gap to Eris from overlapping her down to just about a car length. He takes the inside line. We are 5 laps to go here. So we have a great flagman, fellow 04. It's been a real hero for us so far. As Twin makes a move on Eris now, we're down to 4 laps to go. Again, seems like this is just going to be a bit of a lap session. But it is the race for today. So, pales in comparison, I believe, in a lot of ways to yesterday's Rotsmond race. That was action-packed. This one seems to be more so a lot tamer in comparison. Although what is, to me, interesting is seeing these lap times that I think we might be in range of the 2021-2022 Rotsmonds when they were just saying earth-shattering laps. Now, Twin's down to 2 to go. So he makes his preliminary round through the backstretch into 3 and 4 here. Might be closing in on Twin even to lap him, so in this short run, he's already almost lapped the whole field. As we are now on the white flag, and I think Turbo might just be out of range. But Arisnetta, this will be your final lap. As Twin messes this one up. And Twin comes across the line and wins today at Martinsville. Arisnetta is going to come up in 4th place. Beige will finish in 5th. Turbo Stuntman has a pretty much guaranteed 3rd place. Mr. Monaco is coming up in 2nd place off screen. But Turbo Stuntman, our last car to finish, finishes up in 3rd place. So Twin has won 2 races this weekend. That being the Formula Micros and the Rotsmonds. And this time we've actually moved the clock to apparently the right direction. So thank you guys for coming. Twin also takes home the quick time, so an absolutely swept race. Twin, if you could head to the victory lane. Thank you. So we are going to talk to Twin. So a race here full of domination. So definitely a lot of makeup over the last week. Last week, as we both know, was a bit of a rough week. but it has turned around definitely for the better this weekend. So, you can chill over here this time. If you do want to speak, you are unmuted, Twin. Again, a streak of dominant racing. As I will take a screenshot here. I don't know if Twin wants an interview or not. That's okay.
I mean, I will, but
Alright.
it's not really much to say. Like, nothing really happened during the race, and I'm sure everyone can agree as well. Like, just pretty, I guess, remote race for pretty much everybody. Like, everyone was just kind of in their own neighborhood, you know, just driving around, just trying to be as quick as possible. I think that's what was mostly the thing that happened this race. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to you know, drive this again, because honestly, I love driving this car every single week, every single time I get to it, at least, because it's just fun to drive, and it suits my driving style and everything. And that's probably the only reason why I'm a lot better with this than the other cars in the series. So yeah, I mean, that's about it. Not much else to say, honestly. But yeah, congrats to everyone.
Thank you there, Twin. Now there's 2 more races coming up. Both the midgets and the Super Indies. Now the Super Indies might be an interesting one, or they could be long drawn out like this one was. We'll see. Alright. Well, up next in the field, that was Mr. Monaco. Now Mr. Monaco, I believe, is busy, so that will leave us with the 3rd place finisher. That is Turbo Stuntman. Turbo Stuntman, another podium finish for you. Now, last week, again, that was a really very good run for the lead. Looks like things were a little bit different this week. Obviously, some more races going on later today, but also next weekend. So, how do you think that trend's going to go? Nothing to say, really, just banking some points. This really does seem like a bit of a points weekend, at least in the micros. I would argue that the F1 race was probably more action-filled. I hate to say that. Got a little stressful because it bonked the wall hard. Almost got lapped on the last lap. Got Twin Verstappen over here. Alright. Well, thank you there, Triple Stuntman. Hope to see you next time. We will be doing the Augusta half mile, which is, again, a similar length oval. It will be a lot. One thing that makes it interesting is the crazy banking and high speed. So that's going to run like a really fast oval. I wouldn't even be surprised if these things ran flat out. Because the last time we ran there with the Formula Micros, that was the old setup. The really crappy one I did. Which was just a setup just to get one on it. So I think these will be pretty interesting to see with the 200 horsepower setup running over there. So, alright. I think they're Turbo Stuntman. We got Arisnetta up next. Arisnetta, I believe, finished up in 4th place, just a bit shy of the podium. Had a 3rd place starting position, but we're just a little bit too far out of place to hold that podium spot. So, overall, how was the race today? I know there's a lot more coming on. We also didn't really talk about the Stock I-4 race, so we could also mention that one too.
I mean, literally nothing happened. Genuinely, just nothing happened.
It's pretty much just a lap
The
session.
Stock I-4 is, as usual, it's just trying to get the car to not bleed out speed. So that's literally the only thing I have to say. And for this one, nothing happened at all.
Very true. Now we got a lot more races coming up this Sunday. Of course, the midgets and the Super Indies. I don't know if you're going to any of those, but I do believe that last time we did an oval race with the Super Indies, as far as short track racing, there was a couple of lead changes, and now that everyone's a little bit more familiar with how they drive, I feel like it might make things interesting.
I guess.
Alright, Well, thank you there, Harris. We have one more car in the field. That is Beige 20. I don't know if Beige wants to do a interview through voice or through chat. Again, it seems like just a points race overall. Definitely will be significant, more so than likely, towards the end of the season. So I don't know what you have to say about that. Illuminated to me today, but at least I was able to run. Very true. I am still happy to see people taking their time and to race in this series. Again, a lot of these series need a lot of help. We are really struggling with car count in a lot of these races now. Friday's race was actually quite good, and it shows when we have a decent sized field, things actually could go very well. But just unfortunate to see when it does happen. So, anything coming out to next weekend over at the Augusta track? As the half-mile banked track. It's basically Bristol. Now let's watch the race. Now, a couple weeks, people are going to be watching the F1 race. I hate to say it, but with almost certain guarantee that it probably had more action than this. So, fair enough. We will be doing 2 more races. Once again, as I mentioned, there will be a 35-lap feature with the SLCRA midgets in the slower server. And then we are going to move back into this server to run Super Indy as the night closer. Now, that's going to be a night race. This is we got 2 day races, but 1 more night race, which will be the 200-lap feature with refueling, by the way. So that's going to get real interesting. There's a lot of interesting techniques last time we ran on a short half mile with the Super Indies. So, very curious to see. I feel like tire wear is going to be even more significant here. So, thank you guys for watching. There's more to come.